CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We have new details tonight about a homicide in the town of LaSalle. But first, Windsor's mayor is bringing forward a new proposal to collect tolls on Huron Church Road. Drew Dilkins issuing a statement calling for the added fare solely on trucks using the Ambassador Bridge. With more on what stands in the way, let's bring in CTV's Robert Lothian tonight. Robert.
Yeah, Stefanie, Drew Dilkins is seeking an exemption from the provincial government on a law currently preventing tolls on municipal roads. The mayor wants to see transport trucks pay for the added wear and tear that occurs on Huron Church Road.
We're going to set up a booth on Huron Church Road. We're going to make sure the infrastructures on Huron Church Road will collect from every truck that's getting to and from the Ambassador Bridge. We'll set it all up. We've already thought about what that looks like, and we're prepared to move forward, but we need the province to actually have an open mind to what we're saying here to help support us.
The mayor's letter says taxpayers have already shouldered many financial burdens, pointing to Huron Church Road construction, the Herb Gray Parkway, as well as Canada's funding of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Dilkins says it's too early to say how much a toll might cost, but he wants them to begin in May. The caveat here is the tolls will only stay in place until the Gordie Howe Bridge opens. Of course, that's something the U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to delay, reportedly under the encouragement of the owner of the Ambassador Bridge.
So if there's going to be barriers put up to the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge, guess what? We want to make sure that our expenses are made whole. One way to do that is to allow the municipality to collect tolls from trucks accessing the Ambassador Bridge on Huron Church Road.
We have reached out to the Premier's office for comment on the proposal, but have not received a response. Premier Doug Ford is expected to be in the city tomorrow. Dilkins says he is expecting talks about these tolls to be on the agenda. Stefanie.
Okay, Robert Lothian with our top story. And as Robert just mentioned, top political leaders, including the Premier, will be in Windsor tomorrow as Nexstar Energy is holding an official grand opening for the battery plant. Now, there will be a media tour in the morning, but no video or photos can be taken, followed by a news conference. The company says senior government officials will be in Windsor for the event, but the media is not permitted to report which politicians are heading to the city tomorrow. Tune into Mornings with Mike and Meg over at AM 800 Radio. They are broadcasting their show live from 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock, and they plan to interview several key players. The battery plant was first announced in March of 2022, with constructions beginning that November. Construction lasted until this past September, with full production ramping up in November. Meantime, the Ford government announcing a review of EQAO testing. The province is creating an advisory body to look into standardized testing and how Ontario can improve outcomes for students. EQAO results released in December show half of grade 6 students and 42% of grade 9 students were not meeting the provincial standard in math. Meantime, dozens of Windsor High School students walked out of class today and marched right into their MPP's office, upset about changes coming to Ontario's student aid program. And as CTV's Sanjay Maru shows us, some teens found themselves in debate with MPP Andrew Dowie on the exact matter.
Within an hour of the school day starting, dozens of students walked out of class at Kennedy and Brennan High Schools, marching to the constituency office of MPP Andrew Dowie to protest changes to the Ontario Student Assistance Program.
People need this funding to be able to continue their programs. These are people who are going to be our doctors, our educators.
As a community and a school, we find that very unhelpful, especially with low-income families in our school. We need to stand up to that.
Brennan students arrived about 30 minutes before their peers from Kennedy, but once both groups got there, it didn't take long before some students entered the MPP's office to engage directly with Andrew Dowie.
I had a student debt when I finished school.
And how long did it take for you to pay it off?
It took me probably a couple months because I went to work.
Under the changes, the maximum share of OSAP aid students can receive as grants is dropping from 85% down to 25%, meaning a larger portion of that aid will now come in the form of loans that must be repaid. But Dowie says the changes are happening now to keep OSAP sustainable after the federal government stopped funding student aid for private career colleges.
That means Ontario is the only funder for student assistance for TriOS, for Canadian College, and the other private colleges, Anderson College. Like we have, that's what changed, and the federal government's decision caused real harm for student assistance in our province.
OSAP is funded by both the federal and provincial governments, but the changes in grant funding will only affect the provincial portion, which makes up about 40% of the total aid students receive.
Student loans are very expensive, and they are.
Student loans are prime plus one. That's not an expensive. It's not expensive. If you don't get into the workforce, then yeah, you're delaying your repayment.
You have to pay groceries. If you have a child, you're a mother that gets pregnant.
Yeah, so it does take decades to pay it off.
No, it depends on because it does. It depends on your life choices. If you want to go to school again, you can. You have that ability.
When it's like the majority.
There are life choices involved.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Now, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we're learning more details about a murder in the town of LaSalle late Tuesday night. Police are now identifying the victim as 45-year-old Nancy Grewal of Windsor. Crews are on scene all day investigating what's being called an isolated incident. With more on what we know so far, here's CTV's Michelle Masotti.
A startling thing to see in the quiet town of LaSalle. Not one, but two police crime scenes on Todd Lane, and a large portion of the woodlot behind nearly a dozen homes also taped off. The incident started here Tuesday night around 9 p.m. in the 2400 block, according to Constable Elena Atkins.
Officers arrived on scene, located a 45-year-old female who had injuries.
Atkins says the woman was rushed to hospital, but she died from her injuries. Police say she was stabbed.
Do you have a suspect?
So currently, as the investigation stands, we will not be releasing those details in order to maintain the integrity of the investigation.
LaSalle police officers were canvassing neighbors Wednesday morning, and they're hoping some residents have surveillance footage from the last 24 hours.
Were the victim and the suspects known to each other?
So at this time, those details will not be shared, just again to preserve the integrity of the investigation.
Police won't explain the wide distance between the cruisers.
Those are determined by the investigators, who believe that there may be beneficial information within those areas. And so those areas will remain taped off until they determine that they no longer need to hold those scenes.
With rumors around town rampant, police will only say what happened here, and here, and here is an isolated incident.
Residents can expect that there will be a heavy police presence in those areas for an indeterminate amount of time.
Michelle Masotti, CTV News.
In other news, Essex County has voted against a motion that would shift the burden of the new green bin program onto reserves.
I am not going to go into reserves to pay for it. We should have thought of that at budget, or it'll be up to the next council to think about it at the next budget.
Council debated using millions in reserves to ease the immediate impact on taxpayers. In recent months, residents have pushed back over green bin user fees, feeling the costs lack transparency. However, county staff warned tonight against relying on reserves for programs, stating it's unsustainable. Green bin collection began in Lakeshore, LaSalle, Essex, and Tecumseh last fall. The program will begin in the remaining county communities later this year. Instead, County Council is looking at moving the compost fee onto the general tax levy.
Looking into the future to phase in the county levy, I think that's important. You know, you look in that report and you see a 9% tax increase if it's done once, which is a significant amount. It's a significant amount. So I think we have to do everything we can to be able to ease that in.
Provincial reps were in Amherstburg today, touting a nearly $35 million investment in the Chateau Park redevelopment. The province says the project will create hundreds of jobs while adding new beds for local seniors.
I think we're trying to support smaller municipalities with jobs. As I've noted, this project will bring 370 jobs to the region, and so we know that this region has suffered some losses in terms of jobs.
Construction on the new Chateau Park long-term care home on Friar Street is about 25% complete. The project will replace a 59-bed facility in Windsor and expand it to 160 long-term care spaces in Amherstburg. The province says the $75 million build is part of its plan to expand and modernize care, with the new home expected to open in 2027. The Windsor Spitfires championship aspirations are being dealt with a serious blow. The team announcing star forward Ethan Belchez will be out indefinitely with a broken left clavicle. Belchez is expected to undergo surgery, and there's no timetable for his return to the ice. The former first overall pick leads the team with 34 goals of the season and has a total of 59 points. He's expected to be a top pick in the upcoming NHL entry draft. A statement from the team says the Spitfires organization is behind the 17-year-old, knowing he will attack the rehab process. And we continue our coverage in our series tonight, introducing you to southwestern Ontario athletes heading to the Paralympics, including one from up the 401, whose journey to Team Canada started with a life-changing illness before he was even in high school. Here's CTV's Travis Fortnum.
James Dunn grew up in Wallacestown, a small community west of London where, like so many kids, his life revolved around the rink.
Grew up playing pretty much every sport I could, but hockey was my favorite. All my friends were on the team, like going to games and playing with them was so much fun.
But when he was just 11 years old, that life was suddenly interrupted by a cancer diagnosis that would cost him his leg. And even in that moment, he only had one question.
Would I be able to play hockey again? That was the only question I had.
While still in the hospital, a visit from future Team Canada teammate Tyler McGregor helped show him the answer.
He asked me if I wanted to try out sledge hockey, and I said, yeah, for sure. So he got me out on the ice for the first time, and I kind of fell back in love with hockey again, just in a different form.
A second chance that would take Dunn further than he ever imagined. From a small-town kid watching this moment, Sidney Crosby's golden goal in 2010, to living a dream.
Watching Sidney Crosby score the golden goal and always dreaming of maybe one day, like being able to represent Canada. Flash forward to now, like, it's really such a dream come true.
Now, at just 24 years old, Dunn is already a two-time Paralympian and will compete in his third games in Italy. Back home, his community is right behind him, with signs posted around town cheering him on just like they always have.
I remember after my first Paralympics, they had a parade for me when I got home, and I'm very grateful for that. Like, there's such great people in that area.
And every time he pulls on that Team Canada jersey, he knows exactly what it means.
It means so much, like being able to put that maple leaf on. Like, I'm very, very proud to be able to do that. Like, really living out my younger self's dream.
Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
Meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
Look like nothing's gonna come my way.
A cowboy, a singer, and a fireman. 3 dreams that all came true for this man. That's still ahead on CTV News. Joining me now is Gary Archibald with a full look at the forecast. Gary.
We are talking about rainfall just after midnight through to about, say, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning for Windsor, Essex, a little bit later towards Chatham-Kent as this system, at least the first wave of it, progresses from west to east across extreme southwestern Ontario in the next few hours. Today reached a high just shy of 3 degrees. It was seasonal, about a degree cooler than the average expected daytime high, and it certainly felt cooler. In fact, to be honest, we were anticipating temperatures between +6 and 8 degrees today and only got close to 3. So what's happening right now? This area that's cutting across Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, And even Lake Superior is in transition. There is a good flow of energy coming from the west and southwest. In particular, what's over the upper Ohio Valley is a mixture of rain and freezing rain headed towards us. We'll see 2 waves, as mentioned, one just after midnight, and a second wave with more potent rains and maybe even some thunderstorms. Yes, a thunderstorm risk for late tomorrow afternoon. The rainfall tallies are moderate, anywhere from about 10 to 20 millimeters expected. And if we have isolated thunderstorm activity, they can be, well, delivering a lot more rainfall. It looks like it's going to be wet. It will also be mild-ish, at least through the overnight. Won't see temperatures below the freezing mark, 3 degrees, cloudy, relatively calm in terms of the winds across the region. And here's the breakdown. There's a lot going on here. We start with Thursday. Rain and then more rain with thunderstorms towards the afternoon, a high of 6 degrees. So we're a couple of degrees above seasonal. And then we jump to 15. Look at this, 15 and 17. Southerly flow, plus more rain on the way for Friday and Saturday. We're still in this area of low pressure. In fact, 2 systems will be swiping through the lower Great Lakes. Then we get a nice break Sunday and Monday. Temperatures still well above seasonal, 12 degrees followed by 16. And then some showers and warmer still Tuesday up to 18. Cooling off a bit, but still well above the average high next week this time, Wednesday. 11 would still be about 6 degrees above the average of 5. So, the long and short of it is, we're unstable for the next few days, wet, but trending towards very spring-like temperatures.
During a joint press conference with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Mark Carney was asked if he would definitively say Canada would not participate in U.S. military action with Iran. He stated one could never categorically rule out participation. He went on to say, we will stand by our allies if it makes sense. Meantime, there are now more than 103,000 Canadians registered with Global Affairs Canada in the Middle East. But for those seeking to return to Canada, there is no easy path. And unlike many allies, Canada has not announced any plans to charter flights home. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
For the last 6 weeks, Glenn Williams traveled the world. He thought his layover in Kuwait, a country he had never visited, would only be for a few days. Then the conflict began, and instead of flying home Sunday, he found himself stranded.
We do hear the sirens a lot during the day, but I mean, it's overall fairly calm. I can't say it's been crazy. You know, I think the biggest part is just like the unknown. We're not sure when the airspace will reopen.
Williams is one of more than 103,000 Canadians currently registered in the region. Global Affairs Canada is not currently offering assisted departures, but the department says it is working on a range of options to support the potential departure of Canadians from several countries in the Middle East.
I am on the phone night and day with my counterparts in the region to ensure that we are providing the utmost support for Canadians in need.
While no evacuation flights are currently planned, Ottawa says it has asked Oman to use their airspace if necessary. Israel has arranged buses to a border crossing with Egypt where commercial planes are still flying. And in Lebanon, seats have been secured for Canadians on certain commercial flights.
Publicly, we may not say much, but behind the scenes, I think there is some conversation going on about potential exit avenues.
With experts saying it will likely be some time before flights resume.
It would be nice to get back home.
Canadians like Williams are trying to stay patient while they wait for news from the airlines or from the government.
Seems like the Canadian government, not in any bad way, but has said, like, you know, kind of fend for yourselves and hunker down.
But it's not just Canadian travelers in the Middle East who are impacted. It's Canadians around the world who had layovers in the region canceled indefinitely. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
And you may want to keep an eye on the pump this week with gas prices expected to rise. Experts say rising tensions in the Middle East are pushing oil prices higher after U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran over the weekend. That's raising concerns about disruptions to a key shipping route where a huge share of the world's oil passes through. Now, so far, there's no major supply problem, but analysts say the uncertainty alone could put upwards pressure on gas prices across North America, including here at home. The Windsor-Essex housing market continues to cool. The latest monthly stats from the Windsor-Essex County Association of Realtors show sales dropped more than 27% in February from the same time last year. The average sale price also dipped nearly 4% year over year, now sitting at just over $541,000. The slide comes as market activity rose 2% over the same period, with 764 new listings. The market also saw dips in January, with sales down 1.48% and the average sale price down more than 7.6% year over year. Canada's main stock index was up, regaining some of yesterday's losses. The TSX gained 158 points. In New York, the Dow added 238, the Nasdaq up 291. The Canadian dollar rose 1/10 cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained $11 an ounce, oil added $0.10 a barrel. March is Fraud Prevention Month. Many fraudulent texts and emails used to be easy to spot, but with the advent of AI, some scams can now look like the real thing. Here's Pat Foran.
Many of us are bombarded with fake texts, emails, and phone calls on a daily basis. RBC conducted a survey and found that 81% of Canadians feel there is a new scam to watch out for almost every week, and 83% said it's safest to assume any unexpected text, email, or call is a scam. Equifax Canada has its own survey and says 67% of Canadians worry about identity theft, 64% impersonation and phishing scams, 59% digital payment scams, and 46% investment and romance fraud. Scams used to be much easier to spot, and now many worry they could accidentally get conned.
The fraudsters are so good and so sophisticated that absolutely anybody could fall victim to these traps.
AI is also being used to create fake legal documents such as pay stubs, insurance forms, and driver's licenses that look like the real thing.
With the advent of artificial intelligence, we have seen more and more people fall victim to this than would have in the past.
The Equifax survey also found 68% feel banks should implement stronger security measures to protect accounts, and 59% support mandatory education in schools and public awareness campaigns.
People are tired of getting all these messages and all these phone calls relating to scams. And I think what it's doing is it's slowly wearing people down.
The Credit Counseling Society says there is a real danger if people let their guard down and give out personal information. It can lead to identity theft. And there's no guarantee if you get scammed that you'll get your money back.
Really be cautious about ever giving any personal information, dates of birth, social insurance numbers. Any little bit of information can lead you down a road to trouble.
The Canadian Anti-Scam Coalition is trying to raise awareness to help Canadians recognize fraud. Stop and think, check to see if it's legitimate. If you're not sure, ask family and friends, and talk and share details about scams to protect others. Taking extra time could save you a financial burden. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Let's take one last look at the weather tonight with Gary.
Well, we're looking at some interesting elements coming together. Rainfall, we've seen the fog. We could be a little misty through tomorrow morning. The rain in 2 waves, successive waves. Early in the morning, a bit of a break, still cloudy through the midday, and then the afternoon, even more rain for Thursday with the risk of thunderstorm activity, which could double up our accumulations, at least the projections. Showers through Friday and Saturday and warming into the mid to upper teens. Sunday and Monday, fairer and still in the double digits. Tuesday, Wednesday, still warm. and showery. So there you have it. The next 7 days. Keep the umbrella nearby. I always say that when it rains because that's a good way to go. Have yourselves a good night. Stephanie?
And finally tonight, the story of a man named DJ. As Adam Sawatsky tells us, DJ made his dreams come true by leaving America to live in Burnaby, BC.
Sitting in the morning sun.
Ever since DJ Jackson started singing as a kid with his friends,
But we'd be on the corner just humming and, moving and grooving.
he's had 3 big dreams.
All I wanted to be was a cowboy, a singer, and a fireman.
But he never would be, DJ was told while growing up in the southern states, because of the color of his skin.
Look like nothing's gonna come my way.
But DJ was determined. Got a job sweeping floors to pay for a firefighting course, and did so well, the department had to hire him as a trainee.
They treated me bad. They called me all kinds of names and stuff, but I thought, nobody's going to ever break me.
Eventually, the prejudiced people left, and DJ earned a full-time position, which led to an historic headline in the local paper.
And I fell in love with it, man. I thought, this is it. This is my life.
But that was just one dream realized.
I left my home in Washington.
During a vacation in Vancouver, DJ experienced so many random acts of kindness, he called his mom.
And guess what? Nobody called me today or shot at me. And she said, what? I said, and guess what, Mama? I'm staying.
Eventually, DJ did move to Canada permanently, where he achieved his other dreams of becoming a cowboy for a bit and touring as a singer for even longer.
Sitting on the dock of a bay.
But DJ wasn't into wasting time and started pursuing a 4th dream.
Christopher Reeves.
DJ's walls are filled with photos from the almost 180 movie and TV shows he's appeared in, along with many of the major stars he's worked with, from Adam Sandler to John Travolta.
My pride and joy. I spent 3 days with the champ, Muhammad Ali, and he taught me strength.
But if you ask Joshua who inspired him to never give up on his dreams,
Mother, ooh.
He'll point to a picture of his mom.
She said, you just be you and treat everybody the same, and your day will come. Yeah.
Because if you can keep singing through the low notes of life, just imagine how wonderful it will feel when you nail every single high one.
Still got it.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
That's your news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. See you right back here tomorrow.